It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're tuning into your Feel Good Breakfast Show. This is Expresso only on SABC3. Thank you so much for tuning us this morning. Now, very exciting. Recently, we launched an incredible competition where you and a partner could travel to Italy on a 7-night Mediterranean cruise, courtesy of Expresso Avios and Imagine Cruising. But if you've missed those entry details, I'm going to give it to you in just a little bit. Before we get there, we're talking to Peter Shanks this morning, Commercial Director of Imagine Cruising, just to whet our cruising appetites a little bit. Peter, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, good morning.
Cruising. Now, I've been fortunate enough to go on this very cruise, starting off at Genoa, ending off in Venice. It was a magical experience, to say the least. But, I mean, let's talk a bit about what's happening in the world of cruising currently, specifically with a focus on South Africans.
So it's a really exciting time for cruise. It continues to grow in popularity. More than 20 million people a year around the world go on a cruise. And in South Africa last year, for the first time, more than 200,000 South Africans went on a cruise. And even in tougher economic times, there are two things that drive that. Firstly, incredible value for money when you think about what's included in a cruise. And secondly, the quality of the experience, the new ships now being introduced with the most amazing experiences, be it climbing walls, ice rinks, fantastic restaurants, all the main cruise lines fighting each other by delivering incredible quality in these great new ships.
And like you said, I like the fact that you're talking value for money. We're going to touch on that in just a second. But I think a lot of people are still scared when it comes to cruising. There's a couple of myths attached to cruising. I can imagine seasickness being one of them. What are some of those myths that you can debunk for us?
You're absolutely right. Well, I've been on lots of cruises. It can get a bit choppy, but these days the size of these large cruise ships makes it very, very comfortable. And you can choose which cabin you'd like around the ship to make sure you're always comfortable. But if you're cruising in the Mediterranean or the Caribbean, it's very rare that it's bumpy and choppy. Secondly, only old people go on cruises. That's absolutely not the case. Lots of old people do because of the value for money.
That's it.
But families, youngsters, honeymoons, anyone goes. And thirdly, there's nothing to do on a cruise you'd be bored. Could not be further from the truth. There is so much to do and choose from. So people need to go and experience a cruise, and once they do, they tell their friends, and that's why the market's growing.
There's definitely a lot to do on board. I can second that for sure. Now, let's talk about the value for money part, because I think that is the one thing that us as South Africans look for when we are looking toward taking a holiday. What can we expect from a cruise in terms of that value for money?
Well, two things. Firstly, there's so much that's included on a cruise. So on a typical day on a cruise ship, you'll have your breakfast, your lunch, as much as you can eat, fine dining, dinner, entertainment. Every day you wake up in a different port, different experience. There's so much that's included, most of your soft drinks, your tea, your coffee. When you compare it to a land holiday, there's so much more that's included. The second thing is, and particularly for South Africa, Imagine Cruising, we build everything in. So it's not just the cruise. We work with the flights, the hotels, the transfer, the cruise itself, the taxes. We build everything in. We do it in Rand, and there are no surprises. So it's the actual experience on the ship. There's so much that's included. And then here in South Africa, we're using our expertise to package it together and give great value for money.
That's it. On the value for money also extends in terms of, taking family holiday, because the parents can actually relax. There's so much to do for the kids on board as well.
I mean, I took my kids a few years ago. I didn't see them. I had to make an appointment to meet them for dinner. They were so busy.
Well, that's a good holiday. That's a good relaxing holiday. What are the most popular cruise destinations at the moment, specifically also focusing on this cruise that we are giving away, Genoa, all the way to Venice?
Well, I think for the South African market, the Mediterranean is the biggest draw. Firstly, because there's so much to see there, be it places like Venice, Rome, Athens, or the Eastern Med up into Turkey, Ephesus. There's so much to see. But here in South Africa, particularly as Emirates are now in the marketplace, getting to the Meds becomes so much easier. So flying through Dubai and then going to many different destinations. So I think people dream about worldwide destinations, but the best value for this market is definitely the Mediterranean.
Definitely right. Just to end it off there, if South Africans viewers want to get more info on cruises, where would they go?
Well, Imagine Cruising, we're experts. We have a large business in the UK. We know about cruising. People can find us on the web. We've also recently looked at having some travel lounges as well, so people can meet us face to face. So people can find Imagine, and our experts will tell them how to do it.
Perfect. Peter, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Like I said earlier on, whetting our cruising appetites. Peter Shanks, the Commercial Director for Imagine Cruising. Now, go ahead, plan your next family holiday. Like we said, it is a great value for money to go on a cruise. But like I also mentioned earlier on, of course, you stand the chance of winning a 7-night Mediterranean cruise for 2 people to Italy. It is absolutely incredible. All you need to do to enter is SMS the keyword cruise to 33728. That's cruise to 33728, and join our Expresso and Avios travel community community. Of course, this prize also brought to you courtesy of Imagine Cruising. Fantastic, fantastic prize. Magical, to say the least, entered. We're going to talk about that in just a little bit. But right now, if you are a 4x4 enthusiast, make sure you don't miss a move a muscle, because Chiro's in the house. He brings us a brand new 4x4. Check it out.
Say ciao Italy with the Espresso Avios travel community. You could win a fabulous 7-night cruise along the Italian coast, visiting Venice, Naples and Florence while enjoying the finest Italian cuisine and hospitality. The prize includes flights from British Airways and a full-board cruise experience from Imagine Cruising, where you'll enjoy your own traveling resort coming along with you on your Italian journey. To enter, SMS cruise to 33728 and join our travel community. Buona fortuna. Good luck.